What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Tuesday team here today. You have myself, AlphaDog Bets, here with my guy, JD, from Line Movers. JD, how are you today, brother?
Doing good, man. This morning I woke up early, very early, and been very busy since. So today feels like it's already been a very long day. But besides that, man, everything is going very well. And yeah, as actually Nick just said there, currently just everybody's on fire. So
We absolutely love to hear that. When MBM is on fire, everyone is in a good mood. JD, I think you need to dive in a little more to that. What's been going on in the Discord?
um man, literally just everybody's hot currently. If you want to go ahead and get into the recap, we actually can. Um but as far as hockey goes, our guys are killing it there. Um, that's just like they always are. As far as the basketball games, actually, the last basketball game, I actually think that we talked about that on actually yesterday's show, and
Yep.
just killing it. And then me myself, yesterday was a nice sweep, 4-0 sweep, 12-unit day. But as far as tennis right now is just unbelievably hot on the month now. We've had some wins this morning, so I'm now on the month. I'm now 16-3.
Let's go.
So yeah, if you're not on for anything but tennis, at least join us for actually that, because it is just incredibly hot currently.
Hell yeah, we love to hear that. Well, let's quickly put up the graphic. I know you just did your recap of yesterday, but I'll dive in. I went 3-1 yesterday, so I cannot complain. Would have been a full sweep if the Padres were able to get it done last night, which I thought they should have gotten it done. A couple interesting calls by the umpires may have affected the game a little bit. We just had a comment about that from Joseph. Joseph, I agree with you, but that's the way the cookie crumbles in baseball. That's what happens in baseball all the time. So a tough loss there, but a 3-1 day. Never going to complain on a 3-1 day. JD, we have a beautiful 5-game MLB slate we're going to be going through today. And as always, if you guys have any questions in the comments, feel free to drop them in. We're here for you. We're here to answer any games you want us to go over and help you guys have the best profitable betting day you possibly can. All right, JD, you ready to dive into today's slate and get into a little MLB action?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Also, I feel like I'm coming in a little choppy today. I feel like my video is kind of like pausing. We have terrible storms where I am right now, so if that is happening, I apologize, everyone. I think that's to do with the weather currently going on me.
Gotcha.
But let's dive in.
Let's do it.
First game we're breaking down today, JD is going to be the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Cleveland Guardians. And who is this guy pitching for the Reds? Who is this Andrew Abbott? Where the hell did this guy come from? Because he's 5-1 on the year with a 2.1 ERA. He has a 1.06 whip. He has been absolutely fantastic, and it's not like he's only had a couple starts. He's already pitched 53 innings this year. So if he can keep that up, that's a real big-time arm who may be looking to get moved at the deadline. We'll see what happens here. On the other side, for the Guardians, we have Slade Ciccone. Ciccone is 1-2 on the year with a 4.87 ERA. JD, game one of this series was last night. The Reds came out and they spanked them. They won 7-4. The game wasn't even really that close. Reds are winners of 4 consecutive games, while the Gardos are losers of 4 of their last 5. All that being said, what do you got in this one?
Just like you said, man, as far as the team just as a whole, they're just kind of going in actually opposite ways currently. But as far as the Reds, just like you said, my guy Andrew, he's been this year. I mean, he's just been pitching very well. He is coming off of one of his worst starts, actually not his worst start of the season, versus the Brewers. He did give up 7 hits and 5 earned his last time out. That was at home, though, which actually we know the Reds ballpark, that is a very hitter-friendly park. So that's also when you look at his road stats, his actual road numbers are very good. And tonight, that is where he's at. So we definitely like that. The Guardians versus left-handed pitching. It's not been good, guys. As far as this whole Guardians lineup, we've talked about it a lot over the past week in multiple different spots where this team is just, as far as their bats are they're just not good. And this is another one of those spots versus a left-hander here. And then on the other side, man, I'm going to say that he's my guy, Slade. And I'm going to say he's my guy because I just like to fade him. Um,
Yep.
He's honestly just, I mean, like he has some good starts just actually thrown in, but overall, I mean, he's really just not that good. And so what I'm looking here is at just the first five. Let's bring the whole game down to just the first five here. So as far as on the mound, the Reds, as far as the pitching advantage, I think they have a large one here. Then as far as the bats, the Reds definitely have a big edge in the bats too, because them versus actually right-handers over the past few weeks, they are rising up quick. They actually have been batting well. So for me, in the first five, I got this at minus 120. I just think for this first five, I think this is an extremely cheap price here. The fact that we can push this also, but even I don't plan to actually push it, but just to have that factor in there. But yeah, the full game Reds, I also like them there. But as far as the bullpen, I'm just gonna to me, I just see such an edge in that first five.
I totally understand that. I'm going to be backing Abbott and the Reds here on the full game. I do think they will have a big performance here, and you kind of put it perfectly. The Guardians have not been going in the right direction so far this year. The Reds are also 4-0 this year against the Guardians, which is shocking. They only have 2 more games, the 2 in the series for the rest of the year. But the Reds have their number. They've absolutely dominated them. And then you take a look how the team's stats have been throughout the course of the year. And the Guardians have one of the worst team averages we have seen. We go over this almost in every single game when we talk about this daily. The Guardians as a team are batting 230 on the year. The Reds are batting a full 20 points higher. They're at 250. All that with the Guardians when they have Jose Ramirez batting 335. So take Jose Ramirez's numbers out of the lineup. This Guardians offense has been abysmal, to say the least. They have been absolutely terrible this year. That's the best way I could put it. Their pitching has kept them in games. However, tonight's not a game. I think they're going to be able to keep the Reds off the scorecard. I think the only way the Guardians are going to be able to win this game is to score a ton of runs, because I think the Reds will be able to get runs on the boards. And with Andrew Abbott on the bump, the lefty who does very well against this Guardians lineup, I don't expect the Guardians offense to do too much. So it is an official play for me. I am going to be on the Reds in this spot. Over to the comments before we move over to the next game. Footy is here asking if this is the meeting for the Pirates pre-sale playoff tickets. Footy, keep the dream alive, brother. It's not very often you Pirates fans have some hope. So hope that continues for you guys. And J-Bo is here as he always is. What's up, J-Bo? We appreciate you tuning in as you always do, brother. All right, JD, I think it's time we move on to the second game of the day, which we got game 1 of this series absolutely fucking nailed last night. It was a little scary, but we both said the Rays were definitely going to be our play, and the Rays were the team that got it done. We're talking about the Rays taking on the Red Sox. Pitching for the Rays is our guy, Ryan Pepiot. Pepiot is 3-5 on the year with a 3.2 ERA. For the Red Sox is a man who used to be named Lucas Giolito. I guess he's still named Lucas Giolito, but he's not the same Lucas Giolito you probably are thinking of. Giolito on the year is 1-1 with a 6.5 ERA. I think on this show, every time we come on here, JD, we say, is Giolito going to come back to Giolito numbers? Is he going to be a good pitcher? And every time we talk about him, the next game we come on here, his ERA seems to be a little bit higher. So that's not a good sign for how he's been pitching as of late. His ERA is all the way up to a 6.15 or 6.5. And even worse than his ERA is his 1.65 whip. In 33 innings of work, he's allowed 44 hits. Let me reiterate. In 33 innings of work, he's allowed 44 hits, 11 walks, and 6 homers he's allowed. He's only struck out 27 in those innings. So he's been a disappointment this year. JD, all that being said, are we going to back the Rays yet again in game 2 of this series? Or are we going to see this Red Sox team come back to life, get a big win, and get back in the win column? Because they were pretty hot before last night's game.
Right. Yeah, man. Like you said to start with, man, that game last night was nuts. That game, it really did went how we talked about, because I mean, as far as the Red Sox pin goes, like we said, they weren't going to be good. They were going to give up runs, and that's exactly what happened there. Just the Rays bullpen, they had such a big edge last night, and everybody that they brought in, man, they just either couldn't find the strike zone or they were just throwing them down the middle. There was a time last night, if
last night. If you were watching the baseball games, I believe the Blue Jays game was an absolute wild one in extra innings. The Rays game was an absolutely wild one in extra innings. And that's right when the Dodgers game was flipping from 3-0, 4-3, 5-4. There was a crazy 30 to 45 minutes in MLB last night. And this game was right in the middle of all of that.
It definitely was. But yeah, man, the Rays blew the lead. I don't even know how many times.
37 times. 37 times.
37. That sounds about right. But at the end of the day, it does not matter because the Rays won. So
exactly how I felt.
So that was nice to cash the show best bet, and that was after you had your best bet cash in extra innings also,
which was an under, by the way. That was 2-1 going in the ninth inning. That got real scary. I'm glad we cashed that, but that got real scary.
So glad that we could both cash our best bets. But yeah, they were both pretty wild there at the end. But anyway, back to this game. Kind of like we talked about yesterday, the Rays are just winning games. They've all been close games, but they are winning games. If I don't have a play on this game, but as far as if I had one, it would just be playing the Rays team total over. Because as far as actually Giolito goes, we actually broke down his actual last game, and we were talking about how the previous 2 games before that, he had actually pitched well.
Yep.
And we were talking about is he going to stay pitching well, or is he going to, what's going to happen? And we were like, that was that Red Sox and the Angels game, and I was like, no, over is my best bet of the game, or the best bet of the show. It went over in the top of the second. Because Giolito absolutely sucked so bad.
Yep, so bad.
But yeah, and that's still how I feel about him. There's only one way to go when he's on the mound, and actually that's to fade in some type of way. Like I said today, that would be with the team total over. Matter of fact, I think you can still get it at actually 4.5. I'm still, you know what? Let me look at the weather really quick.
Up. That gives me a good excuse to do the thing.
Yep.
JD's weather report, baby.
Not much going on. It's actually going to be in the 60s. So yeah, as far as hitting weather, it's still not great. But actually, last night was also definitely not good hitting weather, and they put up 20 runs or something. So
yep.
But anyways, that would be the only way that I'm going to go. I'm just going to lay off of it just because on the slate there's just 3 plays that I really like, and I just honed in on those 3. But as far as the volume, if I wasn't worried about volume, this would definitely be a play though.
It's a play for me. So if you guys are looking for a play, I'm taking the Rays in the money line at a -105. I do like to back Pepio. He's shoved it to me way too many times this year to stop fading him. He's turning into a back spot pitcher. I know he's 3-5 on the year, but he started the year terribly and has improved as the season has gone on. So I am okay with backing a guy like Pepio, especially when he's going up against Lucas Giolito, who's been, do I really need to say it? He's been a gas can. He's got to be on our guy Hefe Picks. He's got to be on Hefe Picks top 5 gas can of the year, which I do believe we will have a Hefe sighting. Maybe it's tomorrow, sometime this week, JD. I do believe we have a Hefe sighting, so we are excited to have him back on as always. But back to this game, I absolutely am going to be playing the Rays yet again. The Rays have been the best team in baseball over the last month, which is shocking because they're only a 36-30 team. But you have to remember where this team was a month to a month and a half ago. They were looking dead in the water. They were looking like one of the worst teams in baseball. They were getting blown out every single game at home, which is weird because this Rays team has played so many home games. So the Rays have played a total of 66 games on the year. Tonight will be their 24th on the road. You guys can do the math there. They're playing almost a 2-to-1 ratio of games at home so far, so they're going to be going through a road stretch coming up. So there may be some good buying opportunities to fade the Rays coming up because they played so many home games. They have to now go on the road. It's going to be a bit of an adjustment playing all those road games. But as of now, they're still playing good baseball. As of now, their offense is still delivering. And last night, they scored 10 runs against a Red Sox team that, let's be honest, they've been a hot team. They've been a good team. So it was a big performance from the Rays. I am going to be backing them in this spot, the -105. JD, thoughts?
So, yeah, as far as the Rays, they have been playing a lot of home games. Do you know why they've actually been playing a lot of home games?
I don't know what the reasoning for it. No.
The reasoning is the weather. Because in the earlier part of the season here, as far as the weather is
True.
going to be the better as it goes on now. There's going to be a lot more storms and a lot more rain. So that's why they like kind of loaded them up at
That
the
makes
start,
sense.
so they didn't have to have. So there's at least chance of actually them having a bunch of postponed games. So
That makes sense. Makes sense why the league would do that. But either way, for them, it's got to be a tough stretch where you have to go to so many road games, so many nights in a row. They're not going to be able to sleep in their own beds. And I know people don't think that may be a huge deal. Maybe for a week, maybe for 2 weeks, but when you're spending the bulk of 3 months on the road, that is taxing on a human being. They're human beings at the end of the day. So there is going to be some opportunities to fade the Rays coming up, especially if they stay as hot as they've been and keep winning games. So stay tuned to that. Back over to the chat. Actually, one more thing, JD. We can't leave this game before talking about the debut of number 1 prospect in baseball, Roman Anthony. Man, tough night. Tough night. In the field especially. He had that one error that led to, 2 to 3 additional Rays runs where it was an easy ground ball to the outfield that did roll through his legs, so not great there. He did go 0 for 4 on the game. And what I found shocking, it was in the bottom of the 11th inning, the chance to tie the game. He's supposed to be, one of their big bat who's been added to the lineup. He's supposed to be a guy who's going to drive the ball and do really well for them. They pinch hit him in the 11th inning. I thought that was an interesting move by the Red Sox there. And then they pinch hit him for Rob Refsnyder, who was able to get on base, but not exactly the greatest hitter in the world. So interesting decision there. What were your thoughts about the debut of Roman?
I mean, yeah, as far as those games go, as far as those debuts, it kind of went how you feel. They either go like that or either something crazy happens their first time up and they hit a big double or actually like they hit a home run or either they go 0 for 4. Actually he'll be fine. I mean, it was just a bunch of nerves.
It's one game. I'm in a couple group chats and people were going nuts. Like, oh, this Roman Anthony kid's a huge bust. And I have a couple Red Sox fans in those chats. So, of course, I was digging in there being like, oh, man, this guy would never survive in the New York market if he can't handle the lowly Boston market. But I was obviously teasing. Just one game. Excited to see what he could do. He's a really exciting young player, number 1 prospect in baseball for a reason. More to come on him in the upcoming days, in the upcoming games. We'll be keeping tabs on him. All right, JD, let's keep it moving to the next game on the day, which is going to be the Yankees taking on the Royals. Pitching for the Yankees is your guy, Max Fried, with a 1.78 ERA. He's been absolutely electric this year. Did not exactly have a great last start, but he's still been a fantastic pitcher this year for the Yanks. On the other side, who the fuck is Noah Cameron? And why does he have a 0.85 ERA? This guy has been the best pitcher in baseball from his stats. He's 2-1 on the year, 0.85 ERA in 31 innings of work. He has a 0.79 whip. I mean, Max Fried has an unbelievable 0.94 whip, and I know he's pitched a lot more innings than Cameron, but in a short sample size, this Noah Cameron guy is looking like the real deal. Like I said, 0.85 ERA, 0.79 whip, 19 strikeouts. He's only allowed 2 homers on the year as well. All that being said, the Yanks are coming in as a pretty large favorite on the road against the Royals here. Good weather tonight, looking like it's going to be 85 degrees at first pitch. Looks like it's going to be very, very good hitting weather. Back to you, JD. What do you like in this game? Do you think the Yankees should be a minus 200 in this spot?
I just hit something. Hang on.
I was going to say, I think there's a little – okay, there we go.
Okay.
We're good. We're back.
Yeah, man, as far as Cameron goes, yeah, he has been pitching very, very well. I will have to say, you have to look at who he's faced, though. And he hasn't faced a lineup anywhere close to what he is going to see tonight. This is going to be that first game where I think he actually kind of gets touched up. Because, he is good. I mean, but he's not, this good. So yeah, I definitely think the Yanks are able.
Well, yeah, this would be like the best pitcher ever good if he kept a sub-1 ERA and a sub-0.8 whip. That would be, Sandy Koufax good.
Yeah. But look, who's he faced? He's faced Cardinals, Reds, Twins.
I mean, those aren't bad teams.
They're not
great
bad.
Teams. Let's be real. They're not great teams.
I was about to say, but as far as their lineups go, they're not, like I said, they're just nowhere near your top tier.
Yeah.
And then Fried, of course. Fried versus the Dodgers, that was the first time that he actually got really touched up. But then he came out the last game. That was versus the Guardians, I believe. And actually pitched a one-hit game. So that was a great bounce back start. And I'm really like expecting more of the same here. But there's a problem though. Well, there's a couple problems. One, this Yankees bullpen right now is in bad shape.
So I wanted to bring that up. You beat me to it, JD. So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
The Yankees have 3 usable guys right now.
Yeah.
It's real bad. And to the point where, my guy, John Boy, I'm a big John Boy fan. Shout out John Boy, by the way, who they got a deal with MLB today. It's the first ever league partnership with a media brand. So the MLB is officially partnered with John Boy Media, which is fantastic. But back over to this, he put out a video this morning where the Yankees have 3 to 4 more days to bring in another big league arm because they have a couple guys in the bullpen they don't like to use, and they're having to tax out the guys who they want to use, and they don't have a ton of options right now. So the Yankees bullpen is currently in shambles.
Yeah. So that brings me to my point of where as far as the Yankees run line, them being on the road here, there's a spot where I would definitely back them here. As far as the price is fine, I don't mind the price, all that. But this bullpen situation, I can't trust right now to do that. So then you're like, okay, so Fried on the first 5, let's just back him there. All right, well, to lay a half a run, you still have to lay a minus 150 price tag. So also not going to do that.
No shot.
So that's where I'm just off the game now. So everything that I wanted to do, I'm definitely priced out of. In full game right now, I just do not trust them.
By the way, before I go into this breakdown, Nick, I see your comment about the Orioles and Detroit game. It's basically the same comment as Christian, so I promise, guys, we will get to that game after we finish this one. For me, the Yankees should not be a minus 200 in this spot. I did just tweet this out, and you guys know I'm a big Yankees backer. You guys know I love to back the Yanks. This is not a spot you could back the Yanks at a minus 200. I need to see this guy, Noah Cameron, not pitch as well as he's been pitching. We all know the Royals only win at one place. The Royals can only win at one place, and that's Kauffman Stadium. They don't win on the road. And guess where the Royals are today? They are back at home where they're 19-13 on the year. The Yankees are a worse road team than they are a home team. Max Fried is coming in off his worst start of the year. Well, like I said, this Noah Cameron guy's been absolutely dynamic. He's been absolutely lights out, and he's a lefty. What do the Yankees do? They struggle against lefties. Red hot take. I see you're saying the over here potentially. I do not think this is an over spot, especially 8.5 runs. If I were to play anything on this game, it would be the under 8.5, but I right now have no play on this game. I do think there's value on the Royals as well. If they're at a plus 170 line right now, if they're able to keep this game within 1 when it goes to the bullpen, we just talked about all the issues with the Yankees bullpen. Let alone if they have to go into a save situation and Devin Williams has to come in a tight game. If you've watched the show more than once, you know how I feel about Devin Williams having to close the game for this Yankees team. Disaster, disaster, disaster. So for me, no play on this game. The only thing I would take would be the under, or I might take a small shot on the Royals at a plus 170 because there's just no value on the Yankees. They should not be a minus 200 in this spot. JD, we don't have a banner for it, but let's quickly pull up that Orioles-Tigers game. It's the first game of the day, 6:35 Eastern, and the people want to understand why the line is what it is. The Orioles are home. They're minus 130 against a Tigers team that is 20-15 on the road. They're 43-24 on the year. The Tigers have been unbelievable, and they have a pitcher going in this game who has a 1.6 ERA going up against Cade Povich, Maury Povich, who you guys know I love to fade Cade Povich. JD, why do you think the odds are where they are at for this game? Why are the Orioles a minus 130 here?
I'm trying to figure out. Do we know if Herder is just going to be an opener?
Let's take a look here. Let's see average innings per. Let's see how much he normally goes per game. Yeah, he's an opener. He's 100% an opener.
But say, do we know who he's opening for?
Who he's open for originally?
Or just tonight, if we can. I'm trying to find any information I can here.
Let me see here. I'll pull up their last game. They played the White Sox. By the way, they have lost 3 of the last 4 times he has opened games. No. Is this his first time? Last game he came in after Casey Mize. Let's see. This one didn't open. Maybe Bo Brisky. Maybe they're probably doing one of those where they have a long bullpen game. This looks like it's the first time he's opening.
Okay. He has.
Yeah, he's a reliever. He's a reliever. This is the first time he is opening.
So I mean, like he's good. I mean, like
Yeah, but he's going to give you an inning. He gives you
right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know
minutes.
who's coming in after him.
That's why.
There's where the problem lies.
Sorry, Red Hot Take. I don't care if he's Omaha native. I don't care if he's a New York City native. I don't care if he's a New Jersey native. I don't care if he's a Miami native. He's a terrible pitcher. Period. End of story. It's a terrible pitcher.
As far as Cade Povich goes, I mean, yeah, we've talked about it all the time. Like
we're always trying to fade him.
Yeah, we're trying to fade him. Guys, I'm sorry. Until I know who is actually pitching, it's really hard to say anything here. Unless it's going to be a straight. Unless it's going to be a straight bullpen game.
That's what it's going to be. That's what I think it's going to be. That's why the odds are why they are. I think the odds are why they were. Gibson Long was starting at first. He was scratched from Jabo from the YouTube. Thank you, Jabo, for putting that information in there.
It's like just going to be a bullpen game then.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like it's just going to be a bullpen game, and that's why the odds are where they are. You have a bullpen game going into starter where, the one team is not as good on the road as they are at home, meaning the Tigers. They're obviously a much better home team. They're 43-24 in the year with only a 20-15 road record, so they are better at home. And the Orioles are a team that's better at home than they are on the road. The Orioles have also been playing some better baseball as of late. They're winners of 3 of their last 5. I know they lost the series against the Athletics, but they're coming in fully rested, fully loaded bullpen. They had an off day yesterday. Meanwhile, the Tigers are in the same boat, that they are also coming in fully rested, but it is a bullpen game. So that is why the odds are where they are. I would not take the Orioles in the spot, to be honest with you.
No, I would not take the Orioles, though.
Do not like taking the Orioles in the spot, but I also don't love taking the Tigers in the spot either until we get a little bit more information about their pitching strategy. There's a ton of games today, and this line doesn't make sense. Let's be real. I know that's why you guys are asking it. It looks like the books are trying to bait you into taking the Tigers, and in those situations when there's so many other games, it's just better to lay off. So I'm personally going to lay off this game. JD, what about you?
Yeah, man, there's definitely layoffs. Just like you said, there's a lot of games today, and there's a lot of really good games and a lot of nice lines to be had. So this would be one I would just not force anything on here.
Could not agree more. All right, guys, like always, have any more questions? We're here to talk about it. Let's move on to the next game, and I know you're excited about this one, JD, because are the Braves back? Are the Braves hot? Are the Braves now a team you can get back to betting on? Because last night they came out and beat the shit out of the Brewers. No other way to put it. They won 7-1. They had a huge performance. Their offense was clicking. Their pitching was clicking. It finally looked like the team we've been waiting on seeing. But, JD, I hate to say that. We've said that a couple times this year with the Braves, and that has not held up. Let's go over this matchup. We got Grant Holmes pitching for the Braves, and we know how JD feels about Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes is 3-4 on the year with a 3.99 ERA, so a 4.0 ERA. On the other side for the Brew Crew, we have Quinn Priester. Quinn Priester's 3-2 on the year with a 3.88 ERA. We basically have the same pitcher going on both sides. ESPN predicts this as a 51-49 game. It doesn't matter who's 51, who's 49. They're predicting this to be an even game. Pitching, like I said, even. Question is the Braves lineup going to show up? Because they do have the better lineup when they actually show up. JD, only one person could start us on the Braves, and that's going to be you. What do you got?
Well, yeah, to start off with, I want to kind of bring our conversation from actually yesterday back up. As far as if they're going to try to sell or, what's going on there as far as the season outlook. And after we had that conversation, I really, yesterday, I really looked into things more. While I was digging around, as far as some trade rumors, as far as Chris Sale, I did find a few there.
I told you that might be the guy.
So there's definitely some actually rumors going on there. But when you look back at this season compared to that 2021 season, 2021, finished great.
Yeah, you can say that.
And people probably forget that the Braves did not reach 500 on the season till August. This season is going along basically the same way. As far as in the loss category, they definitely do have a few more currently.
I was gonna say they're a little far from that 500 mark, JD.
But well, right. But I mean, as far as in 2021, they were way off of 500 though, and came back and did that. So, and also when you look at that 2021 team, they didn't have the players they have now. As far as Olsen and all these guys, this is still a better team Like when you just look at it, I mean, this is a better team. So after really looking at it, yeah, I'm not. I really don't think that they're going to sell. Um, like I said, I think they're really in basically the same thing here. So tonight we have Grant Holmes. Is he my favorite guy? No. Can he get the job done? Yes. We just need the Braves bats to continue to actually hit. And actually last night they finally woke up. So that was good to actually see there. So as long as the Braves bats can just stay going, then actually the Braves are fine. But they just keep going through these extreme cold spells though. But yes, as far as actually Quinn Priester going on the other side, we've talked about him a lot also. He's somebody that I'm never looking to back. Always looking to fade him or either actually play the game over or, like something like that. I have no play on this game. But this is like, I don't normally bet Braves games a whole lot. Well, actually, like at least the Braves side. But tonight, I actually would, if I had to make a play here, I actually would bet Braves.
JD, it's a Braves play. Their bats are alive. They had a good game last night. I do think that'll carry over into this series. They have the exact pitcher on the bump that they need to be able to sustain this momentum. They can build off this game last night if they're able to get to Quinn Priester. And guys, Quinn Priester is a guy I think they'll be able to get to. He also has a lot of control issues. A guy who has a lot of walks. A guy who does not strike a lot of people out. A guy who pitches to contact. That's what the Braves like to go against. They have hitters that can absolutely mash. They saw it last night. We got to see it again tonight. I am taking the Braves on the money line at a minus 125. All right, JD, let's move on to the final game of the day, which is going to be the LA Dodgers taking on the San Diego Padres. JD, do we officially have a pitcher for the Dodgers yet? Everywhere I look, I still see a TBD. ESPN, FanDuel, DraftKings, I'm still seeing TBD everywhere. We know who's going to be pitching for the Padres. It's going to be Dylan Cease, which, who the fuck is this guy? 1-5 on the year with a 4.72 ERA and a 1.35 whip. What the hell happened to Dylan Cease? He's been a disaster. But I digress. Do you happen to know who's going for the Dodgers so far tonight?
I've seen a couple different names. First one is just I'm drawing a blank here because I no longer see it, so I guess it doesn't matter.
There was rumors earlier, but it looks like they scrapped who it was going to be, and they have not announced who it's going to be. Wasn't it going to be Knapp or something? Landon Knapp, I think it was.
No, it was somebody else. But no matter. Okay. So here's my handicap of this this whole game here. I played the over 8 runs. Because it doesn't matter who the Dodgers put out in this spot. It's somebody that I want to fade.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't matter who, but of the options that they have, it just doesn't matter. I'm just gonna fade them. And then as far as Cease and then these Dodgers bats, there's also somebody that I'm looking to fade. So to me, with actually a total of 8. Because you could still bet that at FanDuel, DraftKings, and actually a bunch of books. That's why I just went ahead and got in there because I think depending on who actually is announced, this total is only going to go up.
I think the line's getting to move as well when whoever pitcher is announced, and I think no matter who the
far
pitcher is, it's going to move to the Dodgers.
Right? Yeah. At this point, the Dodgers are going to put out Ohtani.
I laughed. I did see that.
I think he's I believe he's pitching every Saturday now.
Yes, he is.
He's up to 3 or 4 innings worth of. I think he's up to that much. So actually, he's getting close. He is definitely getting there. But yeah, guys, to me, this is just an overplay. And like I said, if you like the Padres or either you like the actual over like I do, go ahead and jump in now.
Yeah, I like the Padres. I do think whoever the Dodgers put up is going to make this line go more towards the Padres is what I meant to say earlier, because I do think whoever they put out there is going to be a really bad option. There's no viable option for them in this spot. The Padres should have won the game last night as well. Let's be honest here. If you watch the end of that game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I do think the Padres will have another big performance. I think they played pretty well last night. If Pivetta wasn't terrible, they would have won that game by a lot. He just had a really bad start for him. In this spot tonight, I'm hoping Dylan Cease will have a bigger performance than he's done this year. He needs to get it going. I think he will get it going. The one good thing you could say about Dylan Cease is he's kept the ball in the park. He's only given up 8 homers in 68 innings, which is pretty good. And yet again, whoever the Dodgers put out there, it's not going to be Ohtani. Whoever they put out there is somebody who I do think the Dodgers will hit, or the Padres will hit hard. So I'm definitely all over the Padres in a redemption spot here. JD, before we dive into any best bets, any other plays, any other games you want to go into, I know we have a comment here from Pardon My Jay about a College World Series preview. How about Murray State? Well, I'm now finding out Murray State is in the College Baseball World Series. So that should tell you how knowledgeable I am on the CWS. Pardon My Jay. I'm not a college baseball capper personally.
Yeah, Murray State being in is wild. I'm trying to relate it to something, and I don't even know what to try to relate that to. As far as their home field, as far as fans, I think it only holds like 700 or something like that. So if that kind of tells you just how like small, I mean, they like are. So yeah, them being actually in the College World Series is pretty wild. As far as a preview, I actually don't have one at this point here. When we get a little bit later in the week, I'll have some more there. I believe the games are starting up Friday. So yeah, we will definitely be in play there.
Yep. So we will have more from JD there, and I will be tailing his plays in the College Baseball World Series. JD, it's about that time we dive into our best bets for today, Tuesday, June 10th. How many do you have for the people today? Do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 10? What do you got?
We're just going to go with actually 1 again. This actual week to start off with, we had a nice best bet sweep. So let's just try to keep this streak going, man. For my best bet, I'm going to answer a YouTube question that just popped up. But from
Thomas?
Yep. From my best bet, I'm going with the Reds first 5.
Thomas, I'm on the Reds money line full game. So yes, we're both on the Reds in some way or another. I'm putting it on the screen. My best bet for the day is the Padres on the money line. I think we see a big redemption spot from them tonight. So get your phones out, take your screenshots. Don't mind the Monday best bets. I promise this will be an accurate graphic next Monday when we get back to Monday. JD, it's always a blast getting on here with you, chopping it up. I know we have a couple big announcements later on this week. I know we're sharing a couple things up soon, so everybody stay tuned to that. Any parting words for the people before we get the fuck out of here today?
Yes, guys. I actually know that what they said then last week. As far as some changes, you're going to see, and yes, you are still going to see them. We just had to iron a few things out first. Yeah, guys, appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, let's just continue to stay hot. Tennis keeps on rolling, so make sure to join me. Yeah, other than that, guys, let's fucking win.
As always, baby, let's fucking win. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place.